Okay, magandang araw po. Let's solve a sample problem here regarding constant acceleration motion of a certain body. So, an automobile moving at a constant velocity of 45 feet per second passes a gasoline station. 2 seconds later, another automobile leaves the gasoline station and accelerates at the constant rate of 6 feet per second square. How soon will the second automobile overtake the first? Okay, for us to get the unknown parameter, let's analyze the given problem so that we can draw first the given figure. Okay, let this be our roadway. And then, at this point, consider nandyan yung ating gasoline station. Diba? Ang ganda. And then, sabi doon sa una, an automobile is moving at a constant velocity. Passes the gasoline station. So, when it passes the gasoline station, the velocity is 45 feet per second. Since constant yun, all throughout of its motion, hindi nagbago yung kanyang velocity. Okay, and then 2 seconds later, another automobile leaves the gasoline station. So, redraw lang natin. Again, let this be the gasoline station. So, this is after 2 seconds. So, after 2 seconds, let this be our car 1. Car 1, nandiyan na siya. Dahil may 2 seconds nang nakaraan. Since car 1 is moving at a constant velocity, from this point, may na-travel na siyang distance. What is that distance? That is S equivalent to Vt, since it is moving at a constant velocity. Okay, so we will compute the distance traveled of car 1 after 2 seconds. That is constant velocity 45 feet per second multiplied by the time 2 seconds. So the distance traveled will be 90 feet. And then, right at this point, nandyan na si car 2. And car 2 leaves the gasoline station. We have another second automobile that is after 2 seconds. So this is car 2. And then, it is moving at a constant rate of 6 feet per second. It will move at a constant rate of 6 feet per second. So, since sinabi dun sa ating problem na leaves, ibig sabihin, right at this point, yan yung ating starting position of car 2 or automobile 2. Since sinabing leaves, ibig sabihin nun, the initial velocity of second automobile is equivalent to 0. And then, it will move at a constant acceleration. Car 1 is moving constant velocity, and then car 2 will move at a constant acceleration motion. Now, the problem is to solve the time that the second automobile overtake the first, or kung i-rephrase po natin yon, the time that the two cars will meet. So, saan sila magtatagpo? So, hindi natin alam. Let this be our meeting point. So, after a certain time, nandyan na yung ating first automobile, nandyan na din yung ating second automobile. Okay, so what will be that time? Okay, so if we will analyze here, from this point to this point, that will be the distance traveled by the first automobile. And then, from this point up to this point, that will be the distance that the second automobile will travel at the duration time t. So we have here, as we can see in the figure, we can have an equation that we can use to solve for the unknown parameter. Anong equation na yon? This distance is also equivalent to this distance. Therefore, we can say that S2 is equivalent to 90 plus S1. So what is S2? Anong gagamitin nating formula for the distance or displacement of our second automobile? So titingnan natin mismo kung ano yung movement niya. Ano ba yung ating movement ng second automobile? Constant acceleration motion. So ano ba yung mga formula sa constant acceleration motion na involve yung displacement? Na involve din yung time dahil yun yung ating unknown. So we can use VOT plus 1/2 AT squared. And that will be equivalent to 90 plus S1. Ano naman yung S formula natin for the first automobile? Again, dapat alam niyo yung kanyang motion. Ano ba yung motion ng ating first automobile? Moving at a constant velocity. Excuse me po. So, since it is moving at a constant velocity, iisa lang naman po yung formula for constant velocity, that the distance traveled is equivalent to the product of the constant velocity and its duration. Okay, so we have now the formula. Let's substitute yung mga given. The initial velocity of second automobile is equivalent to 0. So that will be cancelled. 0 times t is still 0. So that is 1/2. Multiplied by the acceleration, it will accelerate at the rate of 6 feet per second square. Multiplied by time, that is unknown, equivalent to 90, plus velocity of the first automobile, that is moving 45 feet per second, multiplied by duration t. So simplifying, this will become 3t squared equivalent to 90 plus 45t. Okay, let's simplify. That will be 3t squared. Lipat natin. Minus 45t. Transpose natin yung constant term. Negative 90. Equivalent to 0. And then we arrive in a quadratic equation. So, pag quadratic equation, calculator na lang yan guys para makuha natin yung parameter of time. And that is by using mode 5-3. So, using mode 5-3, since quadratic equation, meron tayong dalawang values ng time na makukuha. So, T1 and T2. So, using mode 5-3, input lang natin. 3 equals, negative 45 equals, negative 90 equals, and then equals again. Kukuha nyo na yung ating sagot. So, T1 is 16.787 seconds. And then T2 is equivalent to negative 1.787 seconds. But we don't have a negative parameter of time. So, ano mag-govern na value ng time? Therefore, we can say that time is 16.787 seconds. So, after 16.787 seconds, the second automobile will overtake the first automobile. And that will be the requirement for this given problem. Okay, another solution for this given problem ay eto mismo. Okay, we'll consider lang mismo na yung dalawang automobile natin ay mag-i-start at the same position, which is the gasoline station, and then let's say na ito yung meeting point nila. that will be the point wherein the second automobile will overtake the first automobile. Okay, so the distance traveled of first automobile will be that distance. And then, this is the distance traveled of the second automobile. So we can see here in our figure that the distance traveled of first automobile will be equivalent to the distance traveled of second automobile. But, ano yung catch natin dito? Okay. Ang una magta-travel po ay yung ating first automobile. So, let's say, from this point at to this point, yung time ni first automobile ay time t. Okay. After 2 seconds, sabi dun sa problem, saka lang mag-start yung ating second automobile. So, let's say na yung time ni second automobile ay mas kokonti kaysa kay first automobile since nahuli siya mag-travel. So, mas kokonti ng 2 seconds compared to the time or duration of first automobile. So, let's say na yung T2 ay T minus 2. Mas maikli ng 2 seconds kaysa kay first automobile. So, yun na may nabago. Kanina, sa ating first solution, iniba natin yung ating distance. Parehas yung time. Ngayon dito, parehas yung kanilang starting position, but then, the time is not equivalent. So, nag-iba na yung ating equation. Okay, what is S1? Again, dapat alam nyo yung ating motion ng ating body. First automobile is moving at a constant velocity. So, ano yung S sa constant velocity? Velocity times the duration, equivalent to S2. Second automobile is moving at a constant acceleration. Again, what is S? In constant acceleration motion, that is VOT plus 1/2 AT squared. So, substituting velocity of first automobile, that is 45 times T. The time of first automobile is T. So, let's say this is parameter of first automobile, parameter of second automobile. Okay, initial velocity of second automobile, the initial velocity is 0. Since, sabi na sa problem, leaves. So, second automobile start from the gasoline station. And then it will accelerate so that it can move. Plus 1/2, the acceleration of second automobile is 6. Multiplied by the time of second automobile, time of second automobile is T minus 2. And that will be quantity squared. Simplifying further, 45T is equivalent to 3. Simplify this term, that is T squared minus 40 plus 4. So 45T is equivalent to 3T squared minus 12T plus 12. So simplifying further, ipat natin to, that will become 3T squared, transposing 45, that will become negative. Negative yun, so negative 57T plus 12 equivalent to 0. Again, that is a quadratic equation. So, dalawa yung time na makukuha natin. So, using your calculator, mode 5-3, you can get the two values for T. T1 is equivalent to 0.213 seconds. And then T2 is 18.787 seconds. So, since dalawang positive naman to, po pwedeng isa sa kanila yung magiging sagot. So, ano yung sa kanila? Ano yung magiging tamang sagot? Let's analyze. Sorry. Yung T1 tsaka T2 na to, hindi yung T1 tsaka T2 na yun, ha? Gawin na lang natin t. Baka malito kayo. So, first value of t and then second value of t. Okay. Ngayon, if t is equal 0.213 seconds, yun magiging time ni first automobile. Ngayon, if that is 0.213, pagkukunin natin yung time ni second automobile, that will be 0.213 minus 2. The time of second automobile will become a negative time, negative value. So, hindi siya po pwede. So, i-disregard natin to. Ngayon, if t is 18.787 seconds, yun ay magiging time ni first automobile. Dahil since t1 is equivalent to t. So, kung substitute natin yung t as 18.77 seconds, yung magiging value ni second automobile or duration ni second automobile ay magiging positive. So, 18.787 is a valid value. And that will be the time for first automobile. But the problem is asking for the time of second automobile. That it will overtake the first, and that is t minus 2. And that will be 18.787 minus 2. That is 16.787 seconds. Which is parehas lang dun sa ating solution kanina. And that will be our solution for this given problem.